Welcome to Trailer Trash. I'm your host, Evan Mulgrave, and today we are reviewing the 1989 classic, Hider in the House.
Tom Sykes desperately wants a new life, a new home.
What was that?
He found the Dryers to be the perfect family. Hider in the house. How can they lock him out when he's already inside?
Hider in the House stars Gary Busey as Tom Sykes, a man recently released from a state mental hospital after he burnt his family alive. So it's been 20 years. He's fine now from that. So they let him out, and he's kind of looking for a family of his own, after having killed his. And he's kind of scoping out his options, and he finds this beautiful, perfect American family of Michael McKean and Mimi Rogers, and he says, you know what, that's the kind of family I want. So he does what any logical man would do. He builds a false wall in their attic and lives there. I love this movie. I think it's up there with some of the great psychological thrillers, Silence of the Lambs, Bone Collector. Really what makes this movie work is Gary Busey's performance. You could tell Gary went method here, because he's, you pick up little things that he does behavior-wise that you only learn if you've lived behind a false wall in someone's house, which is something I've done. Am I proud of it? Yes. Little things that he does, kind of just the way he's got it set out with his crash mat over here, some personal effects. These are stuff that you really only know if you've been a hobo, how to kind of set that up. He eats his baked beans with a hunting knife. That's kind of, that's standard.
Gotta go, babe. Gotta go, babe.
So Gary Busey, while up in the attic, hacks into the family's intercom system and kind of is picking up on their interpersonal relationships. And in doing that, he starts falling for Mimi Rogers, and he starts coming up with ways how he can steal her away from Michael McKean, and then sets up this kind of ingenious Rube Goldberg-esque scenario where Mimi Rogers thinks she's going to lunch with Michael McKean, but actually catches him having sex with his receptionist. So with Michael McKean out of the way, what we really start to see is this really sweet romance kind of pick up between Gary Busey and Mimi Rogers, where Gary's kind of just laying on the charm, classic, old school, helping out around the house, bringing flowers, fights her child's schoolyard bully, beats his ass. Really classic man stuff. Matinee idol stuff like Cary Grant, Gary Bogart. And you really see this beautiful romance start to blossom until the third part of his kind of strategy, murder everyone, kind of gets in the way. But that's kind of what the story's about, is you can't fight your nature, and love conquers some, which is, profound.
Oh, I read today where the circus is in town. Would you? Oh, no? Well, then I better be going.
There's a great scene where the family thinks that they have a rat problem, but what they're hearing is actually just Gary Busey living behind a false wall in their attic. So they call an exterminator, and the exterminator starts fumigating where Gary Busey is living, and he decides to take his life. I do love this scene because it's violent, but it is one of the few unrealistic things from kind of the hobo lifestyle. Because when we were in the carnival, we would actually look for places that were fumigating. Because though the chemicals are toxic, they're not going to kill you. They're just going to knock you out. So you got a free place to stay, pretty pleasant buzz, and really the best 26 hours of sleep you're going to get anywhere. So minor quabble, but overall great film. Like I said, up there with some of the all-time greats. Maltese Falcon. Again, Bone Collector. This is up there. Rarefied Air. This is an A+, slam dunk, can't miss. Hider in the House, Gary Busey. Check it out.
Well, you guys suck, dude!
I was wondering,